All right, welcome everyone to Parallel Universe, the show about community-created content. Tonight we have not one, not two, but 3 Sonic fan games lined up and ready to be speedrun. And I think we should just get right into it. First off, we have Sonic CD Restored by FoxRocks. Take it away and good luck.
Hi, thank you so much, Helix. Hello everybody. My name is FoxRocks. I am going to be speedrunning a very special, we will call it a remaster of Sonic the Hedgehog CD. This is Sonic CD Restored. Commentating with me tonight, I have Pimpweegee. He is actually the creator of this game. Want to say hello?
Pimpweegee. How's it going, FoxRocks?
It is going good. It is going good. So before we get into the run itself, I'd like to just introduce everyone to the wonderful, this wonderful project. We're just gonna show off a little bit about what this is, some of the changes, talk about, give a little background on what this is, what the project is, what's been changed, because there are literally hundreds upon hundreds of changes for quality of life and all sorts of things. So, this menu looks pretty familiar, but some things have been changed. We have this fancy soundtrack menu. We have a fully custom soundtrack. The past tracks are in higher quality. Those have been completely remastered. We have custom tracks throughout the run. I have a personal soundtrack that I have been using, so you'll get to hear that throughout the run. And as we go through the game, we have restorations in the instructions. We have special game settings. Zone settings is new. Basically, this allows us to turn on Psycho Egg Hard Mode, which is another mod that is integrated into Sonic CD Restored. There are a couple of mods that are integrated. For example, we have native crowd control integration, we have native time travel overhaul, and you'll see a lot more of those as we kind of go through things. But basically, we have this, and we also have time zone select. So there are, I believe, 72 stages, technically total in Sonic CD.
78.
78, thank you. I know, I was close. Thank you. 78 stages across the 4 time zones and all of the acts. And that's a lot of stages, and not all of them get to be played and enjoyed. So this is a really easy way. So if you want to just run through the game, but only in the past, you can do that. If you want to make it seem like you're really good at the game and everything's in the good future, you can do that too. So, as a little bit basis of that, some other important things to note. We have a newcomer who we will be running tonight, which is Amy Rose. She has a custom sprites, custom sound, and a custom moveset in the double jump. So it is actually technically predicted the Sonic Superstars moveset for Amy, but we were first. So you'll get to see the utility of that character throughout the run. So we're gonna get out of these menus. This is no fun, and I'm gonna actually jump into Time Attack to run some special stages, because this is one of my favorite changes. We actually have good special stages again. And while we're doing that, I'd kind of like to give Pimpweegee some time to talk about, what inspired him, and, what this is and what this journey has been over the past year in this community.
All right, I guess I'll lead up to that stuff with the special stage changes that she's so fond of right now. Is that in the Sega CD version of the game, Sonic had a much tighter turn radius, which, if he misses a UFO or something, that lets him turn around so much faster to be able to hit it. And also the UFO hitboxes were much bigger in the Sega CD version as well. And so they've been restored. It's much more seamless. You cannot clip through any pixel of the UFO anymore. We made the hitbox exactly pixel by pixel, so if a pixel of Sonic touches a pixel of the UFO, that UFO pops. And basically, when I got Sonic CD 2011, when it came out, I had pre-ordered it, or I guess I bought it the moment it dropped on PS3, actually. So I was fairly disappointed right away, because I had already been speedrunning the Sega CD version for 2 years at that point. I picked it up when Sonic Unleashed came out, and My wife told me I should stop speedrunning Sonic 2 and start speedrunning Sonic CD because the super peel out was so much more consistent. And I developed a lot of those early glitchless routes that people used in the Sega CD version. I was the only runner playing on the NTSC version. All the other runners on the Sonic Center were playing the PAL version. And I wanted to go the full speed of the game and everything. So it was just a little bit different for the community, even back at those times. And I was very dismayed when I got the 2011 version, and every other glitchless route didn't work anymore. There were so many jumps you couldn't make. There were physics completely changed. The properties of stage objects were completely changed, and it changed the entire experience of the game. It made it a lot slower. It took some of the magic away. You had to run 35% longer of a distance to even time warp. And so with Sonic CD Restored, when I started work on that 2 years ago, the primary change I was looking at was restoring all of the glitchless speedrun routes. And while, the music and the sound effects are now lossless audio quality, and we've remastered all the FMVs as well, the highlight is still the speedrun routes in the gameplay. So it's quite a unique remaster in that sense. Like, the other Sonic remasters do not focus on restoring speedrun routes. If it's broken, it's broken. If it's different, it's different. So I hope that I've provided something unique for the community and something that focused on gameplay.
Right. A lot of the bigger fan game projects are in the Sonic community, generally, they focus on being feature dense. We want these multi-page menus with excessive options. And, this game is not that. Yes, you have a lot of options. Yes, you have customization within the soundtrack. Yes, you have certain, you have, more playability. But ultimately, this is about the speedrun community that, Sonic CD never got the kind of love that the other classic Sonic games tend to
In
get.
fact, towards that end, the leaderboards button on the main menu will take you to the speedrun.com page.
Yes, it does. It does not go to the web leaderboards anymore. It now goes to SRC, which is a nice touch, but I'm not going to do that because it doesn't work on stream. But that is definitely something, if you download this game, you should definitely check out. Speaking of the community, that is probably one of the best things about this game. I think you mentioned it earlier when we were getting ready for this, that the Sonic CD community, thanks to this game alone, because of its accessibility of the glitchless routes, has grown about 3 times from what it was.
Right. We have about 3 times more active members who actually hop into voice chat than we've ever had in the last 15 years of Sonic CD's speedrunning scene.
And yeah. And the crazy part is many of these people have learned from other community members. I taught 2 of the former world record holders for this category that we're going to be running today, actually. And
that's awesome. You love to see it.
Yeah. And I was the world record holder, and then I taught them, and then they beat me. And it was great because it meant our community was growing, and we got to share this thing that I love and I've grown to love over the past year with more people. So we're going to run the meme special stage, and then we're going to get going. This is special stage 7. It's funny because we joke that the special stage 7 Kool-Aid Club is the group of people in the Sonic CD community around Sonic CD Restored. People who play it, people who speedrun it, the people who just love this game. And so we looked at the water in this stage and we're like, man, that looks like Kool-Aid. And it does. And we have determined that it is indeed watermelon Kool-Aid. So definitely, if you like what you see, something worth checking out in the future. Alrighty. Well, I am just totally throwing this, so I'm gonna stop wasting time and get started. That's another thing. My favorite feature, you can restart the special stages. That is a joke. There's so many awesome features about this game. So many awesome restorations. So, we're gonna show off more of them. I am going to get started with the run. we are running beat the game, glitchless Amy any percent. So we are going to be playing with newcomer Amy, and we're going to be beating the game as fast as possible, which is the bad ending. So you're going to get to see all of the bad futures, unfortunately. Boo-hoo, poor Eggman.
Should we watch the opening cutscene?
Yes, we will actually watch the opening cutscene because it is special for Amy. If we are watching the opening cutscene, then time will start when the cutscene ends and when the stage loads. So let's watch that cutscene.
I like how there's just Robotnik's face already on the mountain.
I know. All right, and we're ready to go. Go. Get this party started.
All right, and that's a 3D ramp jump that's restored from the Sega CD version of the game. We used to not be able to jump on the 3D ramp for some reason in the 2011 version.
It's a really fun trick because it's like, whoa, what is happening?
Also, the second 3D ramp no longer has an invisible barrier that stops you from jumping over it.
Yeah, so...
All right, we've been through one level and it was already ridiculous. Let's go.
Yeah, Amy's double jump is very overpowered.
That's why we have the CD spin dash to balance it out.
Yeah, she as a nod to the game she came from, she only has the CD spin dash.
But that's okay because we can still go fast.
Yeah, it basically gives you a free maximum charge spin dash without having to worry about the amount of taps you have to make. The downside is she loses the one tap spin dash, which can be useful utility-wise.
That's okay.
And the time warps have been replaced with Naoto Oshima's instant no-load time warps, which were his early beta concept sketches, and we got some screenshots from those early betas of the game. And, the Stone Banana actually coded those into this remaster.
Yeah. Those were unfortunately not possible on the original hardware, but now they are. So we're at our first boss. It will be a very quick boss. We joke and call this guy Famicom. I think its actual name is HVC001. Fun fact.
Yeah, and that's the code production name for the Famicom in Japan.
Yeah, so
and
he's
that's why
dead.
it's so fragile.
He's so dead. It's because he does not have invincibility frame, so we can just spam jump into him.
Yeah, that was definitely like an inside joke with the original Sonic CD developers.
For sure, for sure. Fun fact, the time bonuses are very long. In some categories, they're up to half of RTA. Gonna bonk our heads. We are going to restart. Ouch. We do not want that future sign. It makes things a little bit harder. I don't know what is going on with Collision Chaos today.
Performance anxiety.
Absolutely performance anxiety. So we're actually going to go for the safe route. There we go. I believe, yeah, this trick is my baby because I was the one who came up with, hey, let's just jump on the roof.
Yeah, she came up with this whole strategy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Actually, I'm okay with hitting that spring because then we can show off Magic Spring. If you're ever stuck in the spring yard. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong game. Not the spring yard. If you're stuck in the chaos, you can just hit that third spring on the right and you will get through it 100% of the time. That's just a fun, casual tip for you all. Speaking of ceilings, we will be...
Collision Chaos 2 really starts to show off how overpowered Amy's double jump is. She's going to do some big skips here with it.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually going to reset that up because I was having trouble getting on the roof, but we should be okay. Yep. I'm going to bounce off of that bumper. Get us down here to the speed shoes. And we're going to see if I can get a trick called a quad or a quint. It depends on how many roofs.
Oh yeah, quintuple jump.
Quintuple jump. It depends on how many of these roofs I can get over. Yep, and that's a quint. 5 roofs.
I wish you could have seen the face I just made. That was wild.
Yeah. Fun fact, if you play as Tails, you can just fly over this whole stage. We are very jealous of him.
And so another Sega CD skip that has been restored is you can just jump straight over Collision Chaos 3 with Sonic, Tails, or Amy.
Everybody can do it.
It's the hardest with Tails and it's the easiest with Amy.
Well, because Amy, it's free, because if I screw it up like I just did, I can just double jump over the ceiling. But with Tails, he has an invisible ceiling that he has to get through.
Right, Tails has to do a perfect spin dash.
I believe it.
On top of doing a 1-frame jump. And Sonic just has to do the 1-frame jump with the super peel out.
Speaking of ceilings, you're going to get on another one.
Yeah, another big Sega CD trick that's been restored is falling through the ceiling there and being able to bounce off of those badniks to get up there to begin with.
Yeah, it's not possible to get up there in CD11, I believe.
One of the mistakes Christian Whitehead made with the original 2011 release was he turned all the yellow tiles into black tiles or white tiles. And yellow tiles, when we're creating a Sonic level, yellow tiles let us fall through that tile, but we cannot jump through or run through the tile.
Unfortunately.
So they have 3 solidities, but not top solidity. And Sonic CD made heavy, heavy use of yellow tiles in the original game. White tiles only have top solidity. You can run through them. You can jump through them, but you cannot fall through them. And black tiles have all 4 solidity. You can't pass through them at all.
So that death there was very unfortunate, but it happens when I go too fast. So, hadn't seen that one happen in quite a while, but I always say it isn't alive if nothing goes wrong. Alright, so this is Title 2.
Yes, semi-solid.
We are in the past. This is my favorite music in the entire game, actually. We are going to actually intentionally get hit by this enemy to set up a faster spin dash. And still finish the stage with a decent amount of time. Even with that death, still not bad. All right, it's time for the Jim Carrey boss. We are going to get up here, roll into Eggman to start the fight, spin dash. Just trying to get all of those, we are trying to get 4 hits in as quickly as possible, because once we do, Eggman starts moving a lot faster. A lot of times you'll see me bonk my head on the ceiling. That is not to give Amy a concussion, it is because it helps me keep my speed as I move through the stage. You're going to try and do a quick kill here.
Darn concussion addicts.
I know. All right, and we got the quick kill. Every character has a quick kill with this boss. Tails has the easiest because he just swims in place. Amy's is the second easiest because we just have a pretty loose visual cue. And Sonic actually has to do something that's basically frame perfect.
This next trick is a kind of a big Sega CD restoration. There was no way to do the opening to this stage super fast in CD11.
But now we can.
tricky way to do it in CD93 that we've been able to restore by spin dashing into the red spring. In fact, I think you should just restart.
I'm gonna restart because that's actually a really cool thing, and I wish you would explain it more in time. So we're just gonna do it again. The thing is when you're going that fast, sometimes the I feel like my brain cannot catch up with the speed of this game at times.
Yeah, it's hard to commentate and play it at the same time because of how fast it goes too. This route she's taken through QQ1 is actually the CD93 tool-assisted run route.
Yeah, this is a task route.
The reason she can take that is both the combination of the new time warp system and the restored tricks.
Yeah. We kind of use a smorgasbord of our own routes and routes that were in CD93. And it's really cool to see how they evolve. We will continue through Quartz Quadrant. See if I can roll through that enemy, thread the needle. Now, I'm actually not charging that spin dash all the way because I don't want to bonk my head on those rocks. Otherwise, I lose all my speed and I lose my time warp. So.
Similarly, this was also the tool-assisted run route in CD93 where you would time warp into the past. And Amy can actually double jump. When she jumps early, it charges a double jump. So when the tube switch there spits her out into the air, she has that double jump pre-charged.
Which is really nice.
Tails players have been using that for the last decade, and now Amy can take advantage as well, and Sonic can also charge his drop dash similarly.
Yeah, and that lets you use that little shortcut there at the end of the stage to finish early. Going to play this pretty safe. They'll get here in 10 seconds. It's time for our favorite boss, Amy's Leg Day. We like this.
Yeah, shout outs to George Clinton, the Parliament Funkadelic.
Yeah, this is a really fun.
Which is where the sample comes from.
Yeah, that's where the sample comes from. We like singing it.
They had to call themselves Xavier for the song, so they released it. Work That Sucker to Death is by Xavier, but it's still the George Clinton's group there. And she's doing a trick called the skid technique. When you skid on the conveyor belt, it lets the conveyor belt retain its speed when you're skidding and jumping into the air. So when she does the skid technique, she's not losing any time on the boss at all.
Yep. That's how we can finish it under a minute. Finishing in under a minute or 30 seconds, depending on if it's a boss act or a stage act, is kind of cool.
And time for my legitimately favorite zone in the game. Amy, look out. You've made it to Wacky Workbench. Here it comes. Bouncity, bouncity, bouncing here and there. Wacky Workbench everywhere. Amy, look out. Bounced up from a super bed on your head. Bunkety, bunkety, arrayed in braid. Wacky Workbench on parade. What'll I do? What'll I do? What an unusual view. I can stand the sight of rot and look at grossly, sickly snot, but technical or bad dick bots are simply too much for me. I am not the type to squirm at difficult levels that ground that's firm, but bouncing on ground, you know that ain't, and no bad dick traps that will frustrate. Amy, wait! Chase 'em away! Chase 'em away! I'm afraid, need your aid. Wacky Workbench on parade.
Bars.
That was amazing.
It was timed so perfectly too.
No.
God has a plan.
For real. And that's because that's not a usual route. That's about 3 seconds slow. So the fact that we timed that so perfectly. Speaking of perfect timing, I'm about to do my favorite trick in the entire run.
I got a shield. I got a shield. Hey, 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 hey.
Mashed potato time.
All right, now shout-outs to Sonic Star, who came up with the Wonder Mega Boing Boing. Amy's going to do a derivative here called the Walking Mega Boing Boing Jump.
I don't know if I have enough speed. I do!
She got the Walking Mega Boing Boing. Amy cannot do the single tap spin dash needed to do the Wonder Mega Boing Boing, so we came up with a walking set of patterns that create the same trick.
It's really fun because it's really flashy and you just hold right.
Thank you, Doodleplex.
Now, my least favorite boss in the game.
By the way, Fox, Stream Chat is very happy right now, saying this is amazing.
Aw, yeah.
And Wacky, shout outs to Wacky 3, worst act in the game.
For real. Oh, this is another important restoration, important especially to casual players. You can hit him twice in a row, this boss twice in a row, without just phasing through him. In CD11, you phase through him if you try and hit him twice. But no, now I can hit him as many times as I want. Which is really nice for keeping the boss momentum going throughout the stage.
I've seen so many players be thrown off by that when they try to hit him the second time.
I know. Okay. I am not going to play chicken with the spikes.
The quirky little fact about this boss, he doesn't actually have a hitbox on the spikes on top of him. So like Tails can just land directly on top of him. Those spikes do not damage you. And that's true in both the Sega CD and the re-release.
And you just saw the Eggman peel out?
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this. See, Eggman charges up the egg peel out. He gets his own. This game's all about peel outs. He pulled his best friend Fred Flintstone, but it was not enough to stay away from Amy.
Nope.
And this is your reward for getting through Wacky Workbench?
Oh, by the way, you can run over that gap now. You used to not be able to do that. It would almost always kill you in CD11, and now it does not. No.
I think you should restart the stage.
I'm going to, well, now I can't. It's too late because we time warped it. It's okay. We can still... Actually, I know what I'm going to do. Not that, but now you know what Amy's little yelp is. We'll call it even.
That was important, right? We got to show off some of Amy's voice lines.
Yes, that was what was important. That was totally what I was meaning to do. Yes. And we still finished in 33 seconds. Let's see. I will do this one at least. More concussions. Yes! I am so glad I got that. Also, we can skip part of this tube switch by holding up, and so we don't have to go through the little loop in the bottom right. I will take that that Stardust too.
That was a good Stardust too. Good recovery there.
I will take that.
Beast run.
Yeah, I will take that for what happened in SS1. And that is the thing about this, is that this game, in this remaster and how much it focuses on glitchless routes, allows it, and especially Amy, to be very accessible. So, you know, I could, you could realistically watch most runners and within a couple of hours figure out how to do some of these routes and some of these stages for yourself. And that's what I love about it, is that, so many times, especially people who are just, chronic lurkers, chronic viewers in chat, you're like, wow, I love this, but I could never do that. And I was that person a year ago, and now I'm here. So this is my motivational message to you, all of you who are like, man, I wanna do this, but I don't know how to get started. You can. Go on SRC, find the Discord servers through the leaderboards. Communities are great, and it's a great way. This is definitely, I would recommend, if you're thinking of getting into Sonic speedrunning, especially specifically, this is a great way to do it. Amy is super accessible when it comes to speedrunning. That double jump gives you so many backer routes. So, never a dull moment and never a slow moment.
I completely agree with everything that Foxrox is saying. I think Sonic CD is the most accessible, speedrunnable Sonic game of all the Sonic titles.
Absolutely.
Sonic Star has told people at least a few times in his marathons But CD is really that Sonic game that if you're looking to play any Sonic game like in a speedrun type capacity, CD is the one you should pick up first.
Yep. And Restored just makes it all the more easy. We have lots of community support. I know we do Sunday races. I know the Sonic, sorry, not the Sonic, the Super Mario Brothers 3 community and the Link to the Past community also do that. So
we got to give a shout out to Matthew. He's here in the chat saying, no, play Tails beat the game instead.
Play Tails beat the game. We have Sonic runners, we have Amy runners, we have Tails runners. There is, no matter what your fancy is, there is something for you in this game. We also have, special stage categories. We have all good futures. We have all time stones. So definitely a lot for you. Also, speaking of getting on the roof, we're gonna do that again.
Vegan the Hedgehog. Amy is actually probably the slowest character in CD, but she is still basically just as fast as the others. She is the most consistent character. She has the most backup routes. So she's very fun and addictive to play. When I first started playing as Amy, I thought that she was the breath of fresh air that the game was. I never thought Sonic CD was really missing anything, but then I played as Amy, and I was like, oh, this is what the game was missing.
Yep. Getting here to Metallic Madness 3, or the Final Fever.
Actually, yes, there will be a place for Knuckles runners, as the modding community has just developed a way to check and see if you have the Sonic Origins Plus DLC. So Restored will be able to check and see if you have that DLC and enable Knuckles for you.
We are actually going to do a quick manip with these lightning bugs. If we stand under that door, they will always spawn on top of each other.
That's legitimately you heard it here first, because nobody who helps me with Sonic CD Restored has heard that news yet.
That is correct. I also did not know this. All right, we're going to try and go for a trick called double hit. See if I can pause buffer it. Yes!
Bang!
I am very inconsistent with that trick, so the fact that I got it live makes up for all the other mistakes in the run.
You got the walking Mega Boing Boing live.
That's true, I did, and I've been practicing that for like a week now.
Time is on the next hit.
Yes, time is on the next hit for this boss when you start seeing the explosions. Time.
GG, well done.
Thank you. Have a little bit of an ending cutscene. I'll only show a little bit of it since it's quite long. And I don't want to be wasting too much time.
Yeah, especially when we got to talk about new features after the FMV.
Yeah. All right, so this is a fun bonus screen. If you beat the game in under 15 minutes, you will always get that screen.
Whoa, that's awesome.
And this is the results screen. This is custom to Restored. It has
shout-outs to Main Memory for programming this. She's a pillar of the Sonic modding community. She's had a hand indirectly in virtually every Sonic fan game, remaster, everything, and she also has had like direct contributions to other big Sonic CD mods like the randomizer or the special stage overhaul, which is a different thing that creates like new special stages, some from Mario Kart and stuff. But yeah, this results screen, it's got everything you need to know. It's got your playtime score, your childhood phone number, your mom's social security number, everything.
Yeah, so this is how we time. We time in IGT officially, so that's your IGT. It's actually more accurate than Live Split because it is reading from the memory of the game. And so this is what we use to time officially. So if you ever want to get speedrunning this game, you don't got to worry about setting up anything fancy. You pretty much just need the game. It shows you a couple of things, like you said, your time, your score, your time warps, transporters, holograms, deaths. We also have a route screen. So this will show you level clears, restarts, and deaths. So you'll see, like, for example, my deaths are noted, my restarts are noted anytime I did that. So this is a really great way to keep track of your time, all that kind of thing. You can continue from the first level. So if you're like, that was a crappy run, I gotta restart. This will clear, instead of having to go back to the menu and restart, you can do it here. And we also have this. This is zone select. So if you want to just start from a zone, you can. I'm gonna go back to the menu.
Oh yeah, speaking of zone select, press the B button.
All right.
So one big thing that has been restored from the Sega CD versions that we forgot to talk about at the beginning,
Yeah.
is the codes that you can input at the title screen.
Alright.
So they had 3 codes from the original. They had a code that let you see the developer speedrun times, the sound test, and both of those have been restored, as well as this one, box press up, down, down, left, right, B. And that lets you get to the stage select.
So this is stage select. We've completely overhauled it to be a lot more user-friendly. We use C to cycle through the characters, so you can play as Sonic, Tails, or Amy. We have all of the stages. You know what? Let's, just because we're sitting here.
And this is where I gotta give a shout out to Leon X254. This is one of the first things that his help allowed me to implement in Sonic CD Restored. And I also want to give a shout out to Megami, because he programmed the zone select that you get when you beat the game. And he also, he coded the complete save file and just, the achievements.
We will get to the achievements really fast. Let me just finish this. I just
Because
wanted to show up
we run this game in its own EXE. It doesn't have access to the Steam achievements. So Megami had created achievements for the community EXE that people run.
All right, give me
So
one
it's
moment. I just want to...
all very, very important people. This is why the community matters so much, right? I had this vision, I had this dream of restoring these routes, but I couldn't do it alone. I didn't know much about modding, and without the community like Sonic 2001, Megami, Leon, and people like that, Codename Gamma's another one. This would have never been possible without them.
Yeah, so this is our custom achievements within the game. So...
A Lou player, a Pulley.
Yeah, Pulley.
And the runners, shoutouts to, of course, Fox Rocks, Drive-In, Inception Kitten, Matsukari, Von Ryder. Some of these players are here watching. And
yeah, Frogger Pogger.
These people, Frogger Pogger,
Lenny,
Flower Power.
Ophia. Yeah, all of these runners who have been on this crazy journey with us. It's been wild, and it's great, and I hope we can maybe add some of you guys to the club soon. That is going to be it for me. I think we are all wrapped up here. Is there anything that I missed, Pimpluigi?
Well, that's basically what we've been doing. What have we missed? So I can't think of anything now.
I think we're...
Lenny, are you still in chat? What did we miss?
Well, I do have a couple things to say, but first off, where can these wonderful viewers find you, Fox Rocks?
You can find me on YouTube, Discord, and Twitter under @FoxRocks, all one word. And you can also find me on twitch.tv/Fox_rocks. I am semi-active. If you ever want to get interested in running this game, definitely reach out to me. Hang out in my chats. Like I said, we do Sunday races, so I generally stream those. And so that is the closest thing I have to a stream schedule. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Don't worry, I don't have a stream schedule either.
And that reminds me, if you want to get involved in learning how to speedrun this game, there is a Discord server link at the speedrun.com page for Sonic CD Restored, and that takes you to HUD's 601's fan game server for speedrunning. And we are in there almost every day of the week teaching people. And we have races every Sunday where it's not super competitive or anything. We're just chilling and celebrating our love and ability in the game.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, before we head out, a reminder that if you missed out on, any of this run or any other Hotfix shows or past events like Flame Fatales, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to press the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel, and go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you would like to see the content live. Thank you both of you so much for being on, for showcasing this awesome remaster. It was an absolute blast. Stay tuned, Parallel Universe. Right after this, there will be a... Amy will be back, actually, because Slosh W will be playing through Sonic Mania as Amy. And anything else you two have to say before we head out? Or take a break, rather?
Thank you so much for having us on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I am so honored to have the opportunity to show off this wonderful game that I have spent the last year of my life absolutely loving. And that, I get to share this project that, Pimpuichi has created with the world. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Do not go away. Welcome back, everyone, to Parallel Universe, the Hotfix show all about community-created content. I am here with Slosh W, ready to take us through Sonic Mania as Amy. Take it away, Slosh.
Alright, hey everyone, I'm Slosh, or Slosh W, doesn't really matter, and this is going to be Amy Mania New Game Plus. So, Amy Mania is pretty much a fan game version of Sonic Mania that just overwrites the ability to play as Mighty the Armadillo with the ability to play as Amy Rose. Amy's got a fun little moveset of her own in Mania that I'll be talking about quite a bit, and utilizing even more. And since this is New Game Plus, I will be starting from a finished save file with all 7 Chaos Emeralds, so Super State will be on the table from the get-go. I think that out of the way, though, I'm going to just hop right on into it, give a quick countdown, and then enter Green Hill. Alright. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Slosh.
Thank you. So, Amy's got a couple little tricks of her own in Amy Mania, and the big one, well, I don't know if I can really say the big one because I'm gonna be using both of them a lot, but the move that I just did before activating Super State is the Heli Hammer. So pretty much when you jump, you can hold the jump button down again, and she'll pull her hammer out, swing it around, and this gives you a constant hitbox in the air and allows you to fall slower. The other ability that Amy's got is her little hammer flip. This is going to be very useful for not slowing down in certain spots to get huge amounts of height where normally you would need to slow down and do a little bit more platforming. Already through the first stage, and now we're on to, honestly, one of the hardest stages in the game for me. Green Hill 2, speedrun is pretty tricky of it. Gonna grab the speed shoes, Heli Hammer over. Alright, didn't make it all the way up, but we can hammer flip up here. Heli Hammer again, grab the invincibility. I don't want to be down here, that's fine though. That bottom route is not that much slower. I am going to just pop Super State now. Hammer flip. Hammer flip. The nice thing about Super Amy is, like all of the other super forms in this game, she has greatly increased speed and jump height, as well as being invincible. So normally with the hammer flip, to use it while running, you have to press the B button. At least on my controller, it's the B button. But if you don't have a certain amount of speed, she'll just like do a much smaller little stamp on the ground that doesn't send you anywhere. So you need a certain amount of speed to get the big jump with a boost of height. Because of Super State's ridiculous speed increase, you can do that with almost no run-up, which is very handy for stages like Green Hill 2. Also, something that is going to be very useful throughout the run and very apparent right now is, much like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, in Sonic Mania, the big rings will take you to the special stages where you get the Chaos Emeralds. Once you have all 7 Chaos Emeralds, if you hit a big ring, you will instead be given 50 rings. My game just stuttered really badly. Fortunately, that didn't really affect anything. And since you need 50 rings to activate Super State, finding a big ring, as long as it's right along the path, is a huge amount of time save. Also, something neat about Sonic Mania is the second acts of all of the stages. They all have... The first act of each stage is usually like a mashup of all of the acts from that stage from their original appearance, at least in terms of the stages that make a return in Mania. And the second act is always some sort of fun little gimmick. So Chem Plant 2 is going to be the flubber. Dark blue flubber damages you, light blue gives you a little bounce, green gives you a huge bounce, and then the purple is just sort of those like DNA spiral things up and that sticky pad there. I always time that jump wrong. Okay, there we go. Pop Super State. Also, this stage has one of the more unique bosses. It plays the exact same for every character. But, okay, I've never seen that before. Going to do a big jump. Also important to note on Chemical Plant 2, those little tube spirals, the blue route is always the fastest. At least of the two that are seen. I don't actually know if there are any others because I have pretty much only ever taken the speedrun route. I'm going to hammer flip up here, and then there's a big ring up here. I don't actually need it because I'm already in Super State, and you don't need Super State for this boss. So, whenever I've seen Argic, a rather well-known Sonic speedrunner, run this game, I've always seen him, or I've always heard him give this boss fight a very fitting name. He always calls it Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Salt-Inducing Puyo Machine. And I could not agree more with that sentiment. So, I'm not going to pretend like I have the slightest clue what I'm doing in this boss fight. I have no idea what I'm doing in this boss fight. I'm just hoping for the best, and all I know is I need to try and get some chains of the little Puyo guys. I've never played.
About my extent of it's about my extent of Puyo knowledge too.
Yeah. Eggman is actually like kind of tryharding right now. I hope that this does not become a problem. How is this gonna work? Dang. Okay. Well, yeah. This fight's going about average, I would say. Every once in a while, I end up cranking out a really, really good Chem Plant 2 fight, but this is not one of those times.
Hey, you're winning though.
Is there, like, there's like nothing I can use here. Okay, good, Eggman lost.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like he's about to lose. You're fine.
Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to be going back to regular bosses. And we are moving on into the first of Sonic Mania's unique zones, Studiopolis. If I'm remembering correctly, this zone is like the reason why Sonic Mania happened, which is kind of cool. That bumper bar is usually not polite to me at all, so it must have known that it was on GDQ Hotfix, so it did not want to be a troll and get a bad rep. Oh, actually, every single run in practice, I missed that jump. Very pleased that that went nicely. Also, another big ring right on the route. As long as things go according to plan in all Emeralds runs, that big ring at the, I guess, mid portion of this stage is usually the final Chaos Emerald. Or I should say where we get the final Chaos Emerald. And now after Puyo, we've got Auto Scroller the fight. So here's the first of the hard-boiled heavies, Heavy Gunner, so far being polite. He's going to shoot a set of 3 rockets 4 times. Hopefully 4 times. He can't actually shoot multiples for 1 cycle. But we need to hit the blue missile back at him, and since we're super, we've just pretty much run into it. The top slot is the first missile that will appear on the right side of the screen. Middle is second, third is bottom. Usually, Heavy Gunner decides to give me like 3 3s and a 2. The fact that he's already given me 3 1s is very abnormal for this fight, but I'm very pleased with how this is going. Please give me another one. If this is a 4-1 fight, that would be legendary. Please. Yeah, that checks out. Oh, and then he shoots a 1. Nice, okay. Now we're coming up to a little trick. Well, not trick, just like a note to make if you're speedrunning Mania or wanting to get into speedrunning Mania. There are a couple stages where you want to slow down right before hitting the signpost, because if you hit the signpost with too much speed, it will spin and fly way up into the air, and that's slow. Studiopolis 1 is the first of those stages. Now we are inside the TV studio. This guy's throwing hands. There we go. Big spin dash, because if you don't do a big spin dash, you sort of can't get up here. I learned that the hard way and was very confused why I wasn't getting the height that I needed. But this is, okay, Amy's just on a roll, literally. She does not want to jump. I was trying to jump several different times there to pop Super State, because usually, okay, no. Usually at some point I lose a bunch of speed and end up having to pop Super State anyway, but Amy didn't like that plan tonight, I guess. Oh, dang it! I almost never timed that hammer flip right, so I wasn't expecting to actually hit it. Dang it. Now we're at the pinball machine. I want to make sure that I don't... Well, I don't actually know what that is, because that's not a pinball machine. This whole time I was telling myself it was a pinball machine, but I don't think that's a pinball machine. I don't know what that is. We're now coming up to one of the most laughably easy fights in the entire run, thanks to the power of the hammer flip and being super. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So usually the way that fight works is the TV screen shows some sort of weather effect. It has been so long since I've actually played that fight outside of Super State that I don't remember what they are. There's like, I think a heat wave, lightning storm and wind. I think that's right. Anyway, yeah.
Someone who played the game casually like 3 years ago, I think you're right.
Now we're heading on into Flying Battery, one of my favorite stages. Amy has not been wanting to helihammer there for some reason. Gonna knock this fire shield down so that we can actually grab it. Usually the way I want to go about that is just helihammer into the side of the wall as I'm falling. And just because the helihammer can hit item monitors from the side like that, but Amy's not been wanting to helihammer in that spot recently, and I don't know why. But we are going to... Amy, come on. There we go. We're about to change which elemental shield we've got. We're going to switch to a lightning shield and then pop super state. The lightning shield lets us pretty much cling to those ceilings while they are magnetizing. This is a spot of the stage, though, that I need to be very careful not to go too fast. I'm going to wait for the cycle because you can get crushed there, and that loses a lot of time. We want to take top route, so just hammer flip up there. Fortunately, Amy can do that. Okay. Amy just decided to go into the circle. I've never seen that before. Charge a spin dash, grab another lightning shield just because why not. Another set of missiles, and down to the boss. This is another boss that the hammer flip is absolutely busted for. Alright, fight's over.
Wow, blink and you missed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that fight is one of the fastest fights, even though, like, all of them you've got super save for. That fight is just super, super easy. Now we're moving on into Flying Battery 2. This is a really cool stage. Also, another one that, like, has a big ring right on the path. I mean, it's a slight detour, but it's right at the start, so... This is also a pretty scary stage for me because every time you go, like, outside of the Flying Battery below, things usually get kind of wonky. Things got kind of wonky there. Gonna grab that lightning shield and then hope that I don't get crushed. Hammer flip up. I have hammer flipped straight into that chicken bot as it's come down and died, and that's not fun because also, not so fun little note. What are they called? Big rings. They don't respawn if you die. So, if you get crushed there, or if you fall in the bottomless pit that's under you, yeah, good luck. That big ring's not coming back. This stage also has a really cool glitch that I'm not going to even go for because I've tried it maybe 2 or 3 times and I've soft-locked myself each time. But that last red spring on the final outside area, there's a, I think, 2-frame window where if you jump off the ceiling and then helihammer all the way across, you will skip the boss. You have to be careful in that case not to grab the hang glider that's used in the cutscene after the stage, or else you will soft lock. Like, I don't actually know if it's soft locking in that case. I don't actually know the specifics, but you won't be able to do anything. It's bad if you do that. That's what I'm trying to say. Fortunately, this fight's also cool. I'm gonna fling myself into the spikes afterwards because I guess I'm doing that. But yeah, Amy can kind of break this stage, but it's a 2-frame window, so that's hard. I think Tails and Ray can also do that. I would be very surprised if they couldn't. Now we're into the second of the unique 2 Mania zones, and also, unfortunately, probably like my least favorite zone in the whole game. Press Garden. Reason why I don't like it is it loves to troll me. Another stage with, you know, I don't think I ever realized until right now that it's 2 stages in a row with big rings right off to the left side of the main path really early in the stage that you grab to go super in the speedrun. I did not mean to fall down here. Now I'm stuck. Come on, Amy. There we go. Fortunately, the letter blocks were not lit up. Whenever they're lit up, it's when you can stand on them. Okay. Hammer flip up here. This is a stage that there's a lot of going up in. This is one of those, if I'm remembering correctly from my casual playthrough or the times when I've just like sort of decided to forget the route, this is one of those stages that like loops vertically quite a bit, which is cool. We don't really see that a whole lot in the speedrun because we just don't. Okay. At first, it looked like Amy was gonna say no to that, and then she just decided to get up there. I'm gonna grab the fire shield. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to grab the fire shield for the next stage, because Press Garden 2 is the game's resident ice level. And that is a stage that I had to learn the backup for very early on. But now, we're gonna wave to the boss, because the boss is waving to us. I did not mean to hammer flip that. Okay, the boss is gonna just break the wall because I took too long, because I did an accidental hammer flip. Boss is going to explode and break the wall, and then we're gonna run over here and face that way, so that way Amy will moonwalk into the next stage. This is a stage, though, that you do not want to skip the cutscene at the end, or else you will lose the fire shield. Fire shield, since this is an ice level, protects you from the ice because it's nice and toasty. But, important note about that, when you activate Super State on this stage, that effect of the fire shield goes away to prevent soft locking, pretty much, because there is a spot where you actually have to get frozen. At least I think you have to get frozen. Every single time I've played this stage, I've had to get frozen. So I'm going to try... Dang it. Ideally, I would have gotten frozen right there, but that... Okay, good. Got the backup. There are 2 of those little bug things carrying the icy blocks that you have to get hit by one of those in order to get the main route of the stage. There is a fairly straightforward backup route that does not take that long, or like that much longer, but it still is slower. Also, this is the second of the hard-boiled heavies, Heavy Shinobi. This fight is not going very well. There we go. He's gonna leave. And now we're going to be going right back to Sonic CD. That Sonic CD run right before this one was really cool. And Amy wants to go back to Stardust Speedway. So that is where we will be going. This is a temperamental stage. In my opinion... Hang on, wait. I need to... Yeah, I want to hit that bumper so that way I have a lot more speed for this. In my opinion, Stardust Speedway 1 in Mania is so much harder than Stardust 2. Stardust Speedway 2 is just a lot more straightforward in how seemingly endless amount of hazards are sprinkled throughout the stage. Going to jump up there so that way we don't bonk to the side. That was a good cycle. I just pressed the button. I'm very happy that the spring was there. Don't want to go into that bonus stage, because that would be bad. Come on down here and then go into this tunnel, because this tunnel is significantly faster. And now we've got a huge firefly to fight. A fairly straightforward fight, especially with Super State. I mean, all of the fights are pretty straightforward as Super Amy, but this one is still a little bit more time consuming just because of how long one cycle for the stage takes. And now we are going back to the future, at least if I'm remembering correctly. This is the future in Stardust Speedway. It's been a while since I've actually played through CD. I hope that I got that fact right. Yeah, I don't know why that bumper can do that also. That bumper's been trolling me so much this week in practice. It just decides to shoot me sideways, or rather backwards. I don't know why. Okay, I almost got hit by that firefly because I was a little bit greedy with when I wanted to hit the spring. Also, I can pop Super State now. I am not going to, because I really want to make sure that I have Super State for the entirety of the boss. I don't know why Amy's been slowing down in the tunnel also. Like, she's not supposed to slow down in that tunnel. I do not have a whole lot of speed because of that. Fortunately, Red Spring, Jump, Heli Hammer, Launcher, and this fight's long. We're fighting Metal Sonic. A lot of animals.
Oh, I remember this fight.
Yeah. You know what? As soon as the screen moves, I'm popping Super State because the speed increase from Super State, Amy is not that fast in terms of her just running speed in Mania. But her super form is like lightning. So this is a 3-phase fight. The first phase is just a race. The second phase is standing against the wall and letting these little guys run into you and shoot fireball explosion things back at Metal Sonic. It's kind of a silly fight.
I wish I knew it was that easy when I played it.
The third phase is a little bit scarier just because the floor is falling away. We're gonna be facing off against, shoot, I forgot the name of this form. Metal Sonic Kai, I think, from Knuckles Chaotix, if I'm remembering correctly. This plays very similarly to the Death Egg robot chase sequence in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Early on in my time running Sonic Mania, I would pop Super State way too early in that stage and run out of rings during that phase. You don't want to do that phase of the fight without Super State. That is scary. Now we're moving on to Hydro City, or Hydrocity, or Splishy Splashy Fun Time Zone, however you want to pronounce it. This is a stage where if I get hit coming up in this sequence right up here, I need to restart because there's a spot that I need to make sure that I can go super for. And if I get hit, I'm not gonna have the rings. Heli Hammer, okay, I guess I'm going down here. Also, those piranhas. Oh no, I'm not supposed to be down here. Can I go back up? Oh, okay. There's always Hydro City 1 these days. Let's see if I can't... You know what? No. I don't know why I'm wasting my time trying to find out how to go about the bottom route. So that was not supposed to happen, as you could probably guess. So what was supposed to happen was, well, it's like 30 seconds into the stage. I won't bother explaining it before we actually get there. That's unfortunate. Fortunately, the Heli Hammer is super good.
While we're on our way there, make sure you tell us whether you pronounce it Hydrocity or Hydra City in the YouTube comments.
Okay, there we go. Now we're going to pull this lever while the piranha bots are distracted. You can't actually soft lock if the piranhas grab onto you on the levers. I've learned that the hard way. Going to jump and turn to the left so that way we can jump through that ramp. Pop Super State with the Bolt Shield active. And now we are actually on the route that we were supposed to be going. You know, this felt like a really good run up to that too, which is kind of annoying. I don't know why, but like, whenever I've been trying to PB, this stage has been the one that has just destroyed any hopes and dreams of that happening, which is weird because this used to be one of my best stages. Not anymore. But now we're coming up to the boss of this stage, which is actually a reverse of the Hydra City 2 boss fight from 3 and Knuckles. Don't leave your Eggmobile unattended is the life lesson of this fight, because you never know when a hedgehog, fox, echidna, armadillo, flying squirrel, or in the case of the Blaze Mania version, cats might just decide to take your Eggmobile for a joyride. Eggman has also been trolling me hard in this fight recently, just deciding he's going to turn around right as I try and pull him up. Fortunately, this is only a 4-hit fight, so it's very quick. And put that grenade down. He really wanted to stay on the left side of the screen, though. That's unfortunate. Now we've got to drive all the way over here. This is another stage where you got to be careful about not going too fast through the signpost. And Hydra City 2, big time top route stage. I really hope that I can hit this cycle skip trick at the start of the stage, because it looks really cool. I'm gonna restart, because I really want to hit that. I hit it like 4 times in a row and like in the green room before the run, so jump off that, hammer flip. Didn't quite get the smooth glide up onto the floating platform, but I will take actually getting up there and not having to restart a second time. This is a stage also that has a ton of it just skipped through the power of Super State and Heli Hammers. So there's a part of the stage coming up where the game wants you to make a big figure 8, where you go from the top, how is it? It's top left to bottom right to top right to bottom left. We're gonna do none of that. All right, figure 8's done. And we're gonna be doing that a second time, because there's another figure 8 coming up. Although the way we're going to be going about that one is a little bit different. That one's not completely Heli Hammer. Going to grab that bubble shield though, because I don't have my bubble shield from the end of Hydro 1 anymore. Turn around, build up a bunch of speed, just jump through the ramp, and away we go to the boss. This is one of my favorite boss fights in the game. So Eggman is going to be chasing after us in whatever that is. And what the game wants you to do is hit these mines and have them blow up on them. But since we're in Super State, we are also a mine. So... oh man, that's like the one room layout that you can't one cycle the fight. That second layout that I had, if I had positioned myself right, I would have been able to get 2 hits, trigger the mine, and then get a 3rd hit, and then the mine would blow up on him. Oh, dang it. There we go. Now I need to jump over here. I'm remember. Is that the wrong side of the room? Yeah, that's the wrong side of the room. That's still pretty good. If I had been on the floating, if I had been floating in midair on the other side of the room, that jet of water would have pushed me pretty much all the way out the door. Also by Knuckles. And this would not be a 2D Sonic game without its plane level. I say that they're like... I don't know if there are any other plane levels aside from this one and the ones in Sonic 2. There probably are that I'm unaware of, and there probably will be one in Sonic Superstars, but that's not the point. This is a stage that exists. Also, this is the one stage in the entire run that I will not be going super for. Because I found out the hard way. If you're super and you're on the plane, you can fall off the plane and die. Because while Super State may be invincible, you're not immune to bottomless pits or getting crushed or things like that, and or drowning. But we had a bubble shield for Hydro. So yeah, you can slip off the plane as Super State. So we're not going to be doing that.
Then going super makes it more risky. That's ironic.
Yeah. The one stage that's the case.
Also, since we haven't mentioned it, I would like to remind everyone that you will not find Amy in a normal version of Sonic Mania. This is a fan-made edition.
Yes.
And that's what the show's about. Parallel Universe is all about community-created content, such as fan games, and the like.
Yeah, I would like to real quick give a shout out to Troop Sushi and Codename Gamma for getting Amy working in Sonic Mania. She plays like magic and has a brilliant idle animation that Sonic's going to throw her out of because she's got to jump off the plane. Now we're on the Eggman Express. This is a really short section of the stage. I almost landed on those spikes. Get back on the plane, and then the third of the hard-boiled heavy magician is going to come back and make a huge worm appear. So this fight's weird. I don't fully understand how hitboxes work on this fight. I think I missed. Okay, he did not come back across again. Probably gonna come back across this time. Yep, and he's gonna be a mile away. Okay, I missed twice. Nice. So this fight's not going great. Okay, got 2 hits. So if I can count, which I'm not sure if I can. Okay, apparently I can't because I thought I only needed 1 more hit. Apparently I still needed 2. Why is he off screen? There we go. Okay, I just got trolled by the Mirage Saloon 1 worm boss.
It knows it's a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not a marathon, but it's a marathon-style showcase.
Yeah. Gotta try and hog the spotlight. Alright, now we got Mirage Saloon 2. I am not going to pretend like I have any idea where I'm going on this stage. Every single time I play this stage, I'm like, surely I'm going on the route, right? I think I subconsciously remember the route and just consciously, absolutely not. So we're gonna come up here, pop Super State, and pretty much at this point, Amy's taking the wheel. Wherever Amy goes, that's where she's going. We will be going up here because that is like the one part I do remember. The stage is going to remind everyone to stay hydrated. I think I need to go up the pinatas here, I think. I don't think I'm supposed to be this high, though. Well, we are anyway. Fortunately, this stage is so short that it doesn't matter that much. No, I need to go this way. I remember where we are now. We are at the end of the stage. So I have found that, at least for me, in my experience playing the stage, all of the routes differ by about 10 seconds. I'm convinced I've taken all of the routes at this point. Now, Heavy Magician is going to be transforming into some old school familiar faces. Each time one of these characters shows up, we're going to hit Heavy Magician once and then try and get 2 hits on the second transform, because that will save the cycle. And now, nice, there we go. That fight went exactly how we wanted. Now we've got the other stage that I get lost on a lot. Oil Ocean 1. Oil Ocean's fun. So this is another one of those stages that just has a big ring really early on that's like pretty much not out of the way at all. We're gonna come down here, have these fans blow us up, big ring, super, and away we go. Maybe. There we go. Jump to that fan, jump to that fan, hammer flip up, because we don't want to wait for the elevator, because that's slow. Down here, go through that gap. And then we've got a little staircase of whatever those things are. You know, I don't actually think I ever figured out what those are. They're a staircase in this stage, whatever they are. And now we are about to beat up Bob the Builder. There he is. This is a really short and easy fight. Amy is just flying all over the place though, missing a couple of hits because Super State's slidey. The increased speed that these Super States give is wild. But now the gimmick for Oil Ocean 2 is the smog. Okay. I did not input to have Amy look up there. I am very confused. Shoot. This is not how you want Oil Ocean 2 to start. Anyway. The smog sort of functions similarly to the light dimming mechanic on Sandopolis Zone Act 2 from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. As those sort of levers hanging from the ceiling dissipates the smog. The smog, after a while, will deal damage to you. And similarly to how, as the lights dim in Sando, the ghosts become more powerful and more filled with vengeance. We're gonna get launched by these cannons, run along the ceiling because why not, pop Super State, and jump into a wall because I forgot what part of the stage we're on. Comes across like 3-4 different things, and now make sure not to go into the submarines because the submarines are like actually have their own like parts of the stage and they're very slow, so you don't want to go in those. Okay, that was strange. Apparently, if you're Super Amy and you're jumping while the octopus comes up, she'll just sort of fly around like a pinball. This is another one of those fights that you really get to appreciate how good Amy's idle animation is in this game, because there's a whole lot of standing around, because no matter how badly Eggman wants to hit Amy with those lasers, there's nothing he can do about that. Next up, probably one of my favorite stages visually, not as much to play because it's very clunky. We've got Lava Reef 1. Yeah, this is... I'm trying to think. This might be the only time that we, like, go out of the way to grab a bunch of rings. Is that spring takes us up to a huge square of rings and 2 ring monitors. So we can just do that. Pop super state. Oh. Apparently hit that smokestack thing, whatever it is. I don't actually know what those are. And now it's a whole lot of just hoping that you don't run into like half of the objects on the stage, because it is a very object heavy stage. Oh, you know, I just remembered a fun little thing that you can do. At least I think you can still do it in this game. At the end of this stage. Wait, can I do this? Okay, no, I can't. I was curious for a second there. Don't want to get crushed by that. There's a really cool visual, I don't know if it's a glitch or not, that you can do at the end of Lava Reef 1 going into Lava Reef 2. I've never tried it before, so you know what? Why not? Because it is really freaking cool. Odds of success on Lava Reef 2 will not be very good if I try it, but you know what? This run is going really well, so I want to show off as many cool things in this game that I can. Try and jump up the staircase, only make it up like a quarter of the way at most. This stage visually is beautiful. I'm going to helihammer over. I think the stage is almost over. I tell myself this probably like 3 different times on the stage every time I run this game. Okay, but no, now I know it is actually almost over, because this elevator is right near the end of the stage. Come down here, break this floor, and then there's going to be, yep, wall, checkpoint. And then there's a whole lot of waiting on this boss, because it needs to drill into the lava twice, because it has some very durable armor that even Super Amy can't break through. Only the lava can do that. Then it's going to come down, we're going to get a few more hits, and then we are going to be off. Alright, now this is risky what I'm going to try. I'm going to stand over there because I'm going to actually have the cutscene play partly. I think I timed that wrong. No, I didn't. Well, I kind of did. Okay, so lights are out, but not all of the way. Now we get to really just appreciate how cool the crystal gem look of Lava Reef 2 really looks. Oh, okay, I cannot see anything. This is interesting. I've never played Lava Reef 2 with lights out before. This is fun. I can, like, barely see where I'm actually going. Okay, Amy, we don't want to run up there. Bubble shield is... I should be dead. Those boxes should have crushed me. I got lucky there. Thank you, game. Also, fun little thing about the hammer flip. For whatever reason, you're invincible while doing that, at least at that part of Lava Reef 2. Very handy. Alright, not quite enough. There we go. Grab the fire shield. camera flip up here so that way we can grab some more rings. Grab these ring monitors. I'm at 46 rings, I don't need that one. Sometimes I grab that ring monitor for a little extra safety, but don't need it right now. I'm gonna pop Super State and away we go. This stage is going to have as the boss the fourth and final of the hard-boiled heavies that we will be seeing in this run, as I think the final boss for Sonic's called Egg Reverie, if I'm remembering correctly. It has been a long time since I've like actually looked at like lore for Mania. I will admit, I am sorry.
I believe that is correct. Don't quote me on that, but I think you got it.
All right, now the lights are back on. That went surprisingly well for never having played that stage lights out.
Yeah, honestly, that was impressive.
But I legitimately remembered that was a thing that exists in this game while on Lava Reef 1 in this run, and I was like, you know what? If possible, I want to show that off, because that is really cool. Okay, what in the world? Okay, there we go. Alright, there goes the Motobug. We only have 2 zones left. So there is not too much more Sonic Mania to be had. We're now going to be heading back to Sonic CD one last time to Metallic Madness. This is another one of those big time top route. At all costs, take the top route of this stage. It is so much faster. Also, cool little thing about... I'm so close to falling. Cool little thing about Metallic Madness in Mania is it has, I believe, the only boss from Sonic 1 in all of Sonic Mania. And that is the Egg Crusher that is in Final Zone at the end of Scrap Brain. It is a little bit beefier in this game. There is a 5th piston and the little energy balls that the machine shoots in between piston cycles. Those now have homing on them, so they're now like actually a threat, unless you're super. But if you're super, you need to be super careful, because Spring, please go back. Thank you. Okay, seriously, I'm getting up there. All right. Just Super Amy's slightiness makes the pistons in Egg Crusher a whole lot more threatening. I, for a long time, just refused to pop Super State on this stage as a whole because in the second phase of the fight, I slipped in underneath one of the pistons and got crushed because I was super slidey supering. I don't know why I'm spin dashing there. I don't need to. I can just stand. There is nothing this machine can do to hurt me. Watch. Invincible. Not to being crushed, though. So this fight also is a little bit different than in Sonic 1, aside from the 2 things that I already pointed out, because now we've got the panic phase. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Metallic Madness 2 has one of my favorite gimmicks in the entire game. We are going to be getting Chibi Amy, because we've got the little laser beams that change the character's size. So there are going to be some tiny sections of the stage. Okay, I'm gonna restart because I need those rings. I don't want to say I've never fallen down there, because I almost certainly have. If I have, though, it was so long ago that I don't actually remember it. But that feels like a hole I would have fallen down. I am a master of falling down places in Sonic Mania I am definitely not supposed to go if I'm speedrunning. Now we've got Chibi Amy. Now we're going to be able to sneak around the machine. Fun little fact, we're going to actually be fighting the boss as Chibi Amy, which is always fun. I'm going to grab these rings. Super State is a little bit unfortunate that we don't get to hear the saxophone solo of Metallic Madness 2. Eggman knows how to play a mean saxophone, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, there. I'm gonna run up here, hit that laser, go even higher, smack into the side of a platform because why not? I hope that I can make this next cycle. Yeah, I should be fine. Yeah, okay, good. I'm going to come down here, and we are to the boss. What are those little machines called in stores that you'd always try to get the little toy out of as a kid for a quarter? Yeah, that's pretty much this boss. Also, for all of the other characters, the little chibi character robot version running around would be Amy, but for Amy, that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. So instead, we got Honey the Cat, who is a character that needs to come back. She's not been in anything for a long time, as far as I'm aware. I'm gonna jump, click left. One zone to go, and it is probably my favorite vibes-wise and gameplay-wise in all of Mania. Titanic Monarch. So this is Mania's effectively Death Egg. It brings the seriousness and challenge that Death Egg tends to bring, which is nice. Oh wait, that's right. I'm not at the section of the stage with the car. I'm at the section of the stage with the spring. Also, this is a stage that just has way too many things that can crush you. Like, Titanic Monarch 1 is okay, we're up here apparently. This is a very crush-happy stage. Also, I'm going to have enough rings to go super, but I'm going to hold that super state for this room right here. Because I want to be able to catch myself if I fall from the orbs. Fortunately, I'm not going to. Pop super state, and away we go. We're coming up to the part of the stage that has the most, hey, do you like getting crushed between spikes and the floor? Yeah, no one does. Because it is possible to get up here when those spikes that shoot out of the floor, like before those would ever be visible, and I don't actually know if they activate until they are visible. Yeah, visible. I can English. There's many ways to get crushed by those spikes in that section, though. I think that's what I was trying to say. I don't know anymore. Hit that spring almost to the top of the tower. Dang. I've only ever been able to hit the thing where, like, you run up that wall and land on the top set of springs. I think only one time. Is way harder than it feels like it should be. But now, as a nice little callback to 3 and Knuckles' Death Egg, we've got Crimson Eye, another guardian of the elevator. I would say this fight is much easier than Red Eye from 3 and Knuckles, especially with Super State, because with Super State there's next to no challenge. Now we have one single stage left, and probably my favorite stage, honestly. This stage is broken up into, well, 5 different rooms, I guess, because it's first So we are going to go through the first room, and then it's going to be a sort of branching path sort of thing. We're going to grab that shield. That's our last plain shield of the run. And then we are going to be grabbing up ahead our last elemental shield of the run, which is going to be a nice little lightning shield. Given the fact that lightning shields magnetize rings to you, it is definitely handy to have for a stage this long. I messed up the timing of that. That is a shame. And also the boss fight's pretty long as well, so being able to grab as many rings as possible throughout the stage utilizing the lightning shield, very handy. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Go into the secret room over here. Grab a 10-ring monitor and a lightning shield. And now it's pretty much just race to the end. And have these orbs troll me as much as possible because it's a Sonic game and I'm playing it, so it's going to try and be silly like that. This part of the stage is always terrifying for me because you can get crushed by those piston-shaped platforms. I don't know what they probably are piston. Anyway, another spot of the stage that you can get crushed by spikes. Right there. Fortunately, that's not gonna happen. Okay, that I usually get trolled by the springs during that section. This is like the room of trolling. There's the room of orbs coming up. I think that's gonna be last if I'm remembering correctly. And then yeah, this is just the room of schmovement. Wait, or is this? No, this is the room of orbs. I know which room is which, I swear. There we go. This is also probably the shortest room. Come on. That part's temperamental though. Now we've got the room of schmovement. This is the room that I thought we were going into. There are a few of those little pop-up springs that we're gonna have to watch out for. This room has a lot of those that just send you in directions you don't want to be moving. Like right there. You don't want to move up there because you want to hit that red spring. And then there are some that pop up on that ceiling that launch you back, and then there's one on the floor that launches you back, and I'm gonna try to go into a secret room up here. Okay, that's the first. I did not hit that jump one time in practice this week. I'm very glad that I got that. Final boss time. This is a 16-hit boss. Time is going to be on the 16th hit. Eggman is in a Pokeball. He's just chilling. This fight also sees the return of the hard-boiled heavies. They each get their own little room. We're only going to see Heavy Gunner as long as things go according to plan. 8, 9, 10. So each of those floating tentacles takes 4 hits to get rid of. And they all shoot electricity, which is not very good. I tried to hammer flip there. That did not go... That did not go how you want that room to go. Oh well. That only lost maybe 2 seconds. But yeah, time is going to be coming up very shortly. 2 more hits. Time. That might have been my fastest final boss I've played in Mania, which feels wrong because did the Heavy Gunner room actually go well and I'm just imagining things? Maybe. Yeah, that was Amy Mania, New Game Plus. That run is stressful. Mania is a very tricky game. Also, my game decided to crash.
Oh, good.
Sonic Mania.
Well, at least it waited until you were done.
Yeah. I'm like, why isn't the ending cutscene playing? Well, this is why. And it's such a shame because, like, Amy's there in the ending cutscene in Amy Mania. Now we don't get to see it. Really, game? It's only... I feel like this has only crashed after a run is finished for me.
I mean, better than any other time, right?
Yeah,
if it's going to do it at all.
That is true. Okay, so I'm gonna give a quick round of shout-outs, and then we can move away from crashed Sonic Mania. Shout-outs to the classic Sonic speedrunning community for being super supportive, really cool, really helpful with just like teaching new runners how to play all of these super cool games. Shout outs to Helix and to GDQ for having me on. This was an absolute blast. This was actually the first Sonic speedrun category out of anything that I learned, so I'm really happy that I got to show it off. Once again, shout outs to Troop Sushi and to Codename Gamma for making Amy a thing in Sonic Mania. It's so cool. Amy's like my favorite character, so getting to play her in Sonic Mania is really cool. And shameless plug, you can find me over at twitch.tv/sloshw. I play a lot of Sonic, I play some Monkey Ball, I play a weird assortment of indie games. I always like to silly around. You can also
Monkey Ball represent. Let's go.
You can also find me on YouTube at /w, where that's pretty much where all my Sonic Origins ILs go. And yeah, I think that is everything from me. Once again, thank you so much, Helix, for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before we take a quick break, I do want to tell you all about some upcoming GDQ events. GDQX will be live from TwitchCon this October, the 20th through the 22nd. The event will take place on the Games Done Quick stage, and it will, of course, be streamed right here live on our Twitch channel. Use !GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the games list. And of course, the next awesome Games Done Quick, AGDQ 2024, will be live and in person January 14th through 21st, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Volunteer submissions are closing on September 18th. That's only a few days from now. So use !AGDQ in Twitch chat for more info. If you're interested in camera, check-in, tech, or any of the other volunteer positions, be sure to apply, even if you don't have any experience. With that, thank you again so much, Slosh. It was an absolute blast having you on. Thank you for showing off Amy Mania. I know it was something you've played a lot of and are quite passionate about, so I was really happy to get to have you on the show. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. There's one more run on the GDQ Hotfix tonight. It will be Sonic Robo Blast 2, so we'll be right back with that. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone, for the final time tonight to the GDQ Hotfix and to Parallel Universe, the show about community-created content and speedruns. Before we get started with our final run of the night, I would just like to remind everyone that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel all help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content. And speaking of that content, I am here with Arcania CQ, who will be running Sonic Robo Blast 2. Take it away and good luck.
Yes, hello everyone, my name is Arcania and I go by they them pronouns, and I am going to be running Sonic Robo Blast 2 as Tails, and together with me I got Lemon.
Yo, hi everyone, really glad to be here. It's gonna be a really fun run. Sonic Robo Blast 2 is a Sonic fan game made in the Doom engine. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun.
Alright, so we are gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. So we first start with the spin fly, I believe, and just flying up there. Oh yeah, and the speed shoes. These increase speed. I mean, it's just like any of the Sonic game. Like, you know, you get more speed. Really, what we're gonna be doing all this time is just getting a high amount of momentum and then just flying. Be that through spin dashing or speed shoes or some other way. Yeah, we're already on Green 5 too. This is pretty good speed so far. Nice. Okay, so I believe that's a bounce fly is what it's called. So if you land on a monitor and you jump just before it or just after it, you go flying upwards basically, and it's a really good way of getting high while flying. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the good thing about Tails is that since you can fly, you don't really have to listen to the cycles, the platforms. You can just kind of go, which is awesome.
Tails is very much like able to go wherever he wants.
Yes. And this is first boss. If you're not playing a Sonic, this is kind of annoying because you have to run into them, jump, and you keep getting knocked back every time. But it's not that bad. Yeah. 15 seconds, that's decent.
Got very lucky with the cycles.
Yes. Yeah. It's completely random if they go left or right when you hit them. Okay, tennis hole 1. So here we have like the purple goop. It's basically like really bad to touch that. Basically, you just lose tons of time. You get stuck in it. Hopefully that did not happen. We go with the speed shoes. Ooh, okay, it's good. It is purple.
Yeah, it's just purple.
Good.
So what I was trying to do there was trying to fly there, and well, to show what the skill does a little bit early. But basically it attracts you and like keeps you in it for a little bit before it throws you out again.
Yeah.
And we are going to be using that a lot in the second act of this level.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, in the second level, you actually do need to go in it. On the first level, if you go into it, it's usually a mistake. But yeah, you're gonna see it used on purpose here. Like right here.
Also,
to be able to glitch.
Yeah,
Glitch through the wall there. You
yeah.
can't do that anymore.
Also,
that was. Oh yeah, go on.
Also, if you do fly, once you hit the like before you hit the thing, you basically get more momentum going downwards. I don't know why that's the case, but that just keeps happening.
Oh, okay, awesome. Good. Okay, it's picking up second pair of speed shoes here.
Okay, good cycle so far.
That's pretty good. Okay, nice. Alright, yeah, down here you usually need to press a button to like raise the group and then get out, but because we're Tails, we can just ignore that and fly straight to the end. That's pretty cool, okay. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty terrible too. Run to the boss now. It's kind of similar to the first boss in the fact that it's Eggman flying and you have to hit him, I guess. But now he's throwing goop at you and it like hurts. Yeah, like that basically. So the biggest thing about this boss is that it gets faster every time you hit it. So if you miss it, it's kind of hard to get them again. They're just going in circles really fast. And yeah, that is technical free. We're on Deep Sea, which is the underwater zone of this game. It's a lot better than most underwater zones, but personally I'd say it's actually pretty fun. So we go back and hit the red spring, so that gives us a bit of momentum. Just flash very quick. I believe you have to get speed shoes. Yeah, pick up speed shoes. And I believe gonna hit the switch maybe up there. Yep. And this is a pretty fast route for a lot of characters. Yeah, just getting through the speed shoes. Watching out for the mines, because those bad makes it pretty annoying. If you hit them, they like blow up, and they also just stop all your momentum and push you backwards. So it's not very speedrun friendly. But yeah, 40. I mean, that's really good. That seems good.
That's really good for like the Deep Sea one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Deep Sea 2, a bit longer, a bit more underwater. It's yeah, just Deep Sea 1 bigger. Starting off in spin fly here. Nice.
I also did that bounce there just to make sure that I was actually able to get through this section without any issues. So there is a thing you can do in this game, which is keep momentum by like literally like the moment you land, you can literally jump or fly, and it will keep your momentum from your last spin fly or from the speed shoes that just worn off. I don't know how like much it conserves, but it conserves a lot of speed.
Yeah,
most of the
if
time.
you do it like if you bunny hop frame 1, I believe it keeps all the speed. But like as soon as it goes to like frame 2, you start losing speed. So yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do something there, which is very much that, like a bunny jump up a bit, and it just failed.
Yeah, bunny hops are hard. This is why I play Sonic. You can just mash the jump button and just keep max speed. But yeah, anyway. Reaching the end here, we're gonna hit the red springs. It's gonna give us a nice little cutscene as a finish, and yeah, okay there. Awesome. And yeah, 147, not bad. Okay, so we're on the boss, who... Okay, you can see the shadows, I believe. I don't know what version of Canyon playing. I think they actually removed from the newest version, DLC shadows.
I think it's only on OpenGL, and I'm playing using software.
Oh yeah.
But I'm also on 1. Or 2.2.11.
Right. Yeah. I think they did have the shadow back then. But anyway, if you're playing on the newest version, well, there used to be a shadow where you could see him coming out, but they've now removed that. So unfortunately, you kind of just have to guess now. But yeah, going on to Cat Segment 1.
One of my favorite levels. It's just very nice looking aesthetically.
Yeah.
But it also has like my favorite gimmicks, which is the swings.
Yeah, the swings are awesome. I really enjoy this level as well.
They can throw you away at like very high speed, but they can also like throw you away at very slow speeds. So I'm just doing a spin fly here just to get the desire right here. It's faster than using the slide. And it's honestly just that. Also, in this area, you can see an Easter egg that is kind of an Easter egg to Dark Souls with a bonfire.
Oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, Tails didn't like Dark Souls, so we ain't gonna see that. Blame us, don't blame us. But yeah, we're reaching the bridge section, which it's like collapsing and stuff, but like Tails also doesn't like bridges, so we'll get them up. Yeah, go on to Castleman 2. Castleman 2, you know, it's the same thing, but a bit bigger, and now you're inside the castle. So I guess that's a big change. Okay, that's pretty cool spin fly there.
Oh!
Ooh. That's okay. That's recovery.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. Keeping your momentum from a spin fly is pretty hard. Like, it seems like, oh, okay, just fly with the SEC, but like, no, there's a lot of stuff you need to watch out for. It's like, it's pretty hard to do it, and even just turning, I believe if you turn too sharply, you just lose a lot of speed, so.
Yeah, and if you jump or if you fly too high or too much, you also lose it, so...
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting through here. I'm gonna be honest, as a Sonic runner, I don't know much about this route, but it does look pretty interesting.
It is shorter than the Sonic route. Oh, I can salvage
Nice.
this.
Yeah. This is
Wow,
pretty good
nice
pace, by the way.
save.
Yeah, it's good save. This is good pace.
Okay, this boss. Do you want to explain it, Lemon?
Okay, so this boss, basically you have to press these buttons, and then like they become vulnerable, you can jump into them. It is the same order every time, like the same order of buttons. The most annoying thing to watch out for is just forgetting the buttons, or if you get hit, it's kind of hard to get back on track. Especially if you have no rings, this boss is so scary, but fortunately, we're fine. Okay, well, yeah, we're doing fine. 2 rings, okay, this is fine. And after this hit, I believe, Eggman's gonna go up, and now Arcania has to hit him in the air, so let's go.
And there you go.
Nice. Good.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pace, honestly. But yeah, Iron Canyon 1. This is a really fun level. A lot of people's favorite level because it's so open.
And because it's so open, it has probably the biggest spin fly moment.
Yes. This is really cool. Like being able to skip all this through spin flying is just amazing. You have to
Yeah.
use the tornadoes there as some of the characters. You got to use tornadoes, but you can just spin fly through this. Oh wow, that roll and then flying like that. Yeah, that's pretty sick.
And we are already done.
Nice. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Wow.
And Acting 2 is very similar.
Yeah. Similar, but this time we have minecarts, and you have to ride them. And I don't know if Arcania's going to do the minecart skip, but there is a skip you can do, and if you don't do it, you die. So it just kind of sucks that way, but I know it's kind of cool. So we'll see.
I have actually gotten it all the attempts that I've been doing it in practice. So I'm gonna go for it.
Okay, awesome. Oh, okay, nice.
Nice. Oh. Also, those enemies can stop you in your tracks. So don't touch the
mist or whatever that gas. I don't know what that stuff is.
Yeah, I don't know either. But what it is it's very much stopping us from going fast.
Yeah. Yes, this is the minecart section. There is a skip you can do here, but I can't even do that skip. I can't even do the next skip. because this skip is like it's like actually you can do it in a run. You can do it in a run safely. Well, relatively safely. I mean, nothing's ever safe, but you know.
There's a visual cue to do it like perfectly every
Yeah.
single time. I'm not gonna use that one.
Okay, well, good luck.
Ooh. Oh, just a frame late.
It happens. It happens. I can barely ever do it. It's very difficult. Like even using the queue, it's just if you're a little bit too late, it just doesn't work.
But yeah, I'm just gonna show you what you do when you don't do the skip.
Yeah. It's good to have speedruns where people just do it normally because a lot of people think you need to do the skip, even though you don't. I think it only saves like 6 seconds. So if you're not feeling confident in doing it, then it's okay to just do this.
It's also very much safer to do this. Like the risk and reward factor is very big, but at the same time, yeah.
Finishing a run is better than dying and losing like 20 seconds or whatever it is. But yeah, his Fang. So Fang is like a really cool and fair boss. Basically, they'll jump anywhere at random in the map. Okay, well no, there are set points, but the points that they pick are random. Like, so they'll jump to these boxes. If they jump on a high box, it's really hard to hit them. Like if they jump on the red ones, it's hard to hit them. Okay, now Arcania has to be careful because if they get hit by a bomb, they're gonna go flying right off.
Yeah, the knockback from the bombs are very, like, blown out of proportions. So but
Nice.
yeah,
Good job.
there we go.
Good. Great.
Goodbye, Fang.
Yeah, Fang dies. Oh well.
Well, he himself can get hit by a sign.
His Red Volcano, which is like honestly probably my favorite act. It's just a lot of spin flying. As Sonic does a lot of damage boosting. Well, actually, as any other characters, there's a lot of damage boosting. But as Tails, I don't think damage boosting is needed.
There is 2 instances of that. One of them is literally right here. If you want to go for it, it's actually a little bit faster to do the damage boost and then do a spin fly. I just didn't go for it. But yeah, there is another like strat that is coming up later that is damage boost.
Yeah. Ooh. Nice. Oh wow. Okay. Oh my. That was a really clean fly. I mean, okay, yeah, got hit at the end, but I mean that's really clean. Like that was really good.
That's my first time ever actually getting all the way over there from a spin
That's
fly.
crazy.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
Oh, had a big lag for there for a moment. But
Yeah. By the way, you can just walk on the lava and not get hit there, kind of. So.
yeah, it depends on where you are on the lava as well. Like,
If you're on the top of like a wave, then you'll get hit. But if you're like anywhere but the top of a wave, you'll be fine. So, yeah.
time for my favorite level. And I really mean it when I said this is one of my favorite levels. This
Yeah.
is probably the level that I practice the most. So they did a thing with this particular level, this patch, which removes the old strat of just running and doing mini jumps. So nowadays we just fly through it.
Yep. That's pretty cool. Here we have the crushes. Okay, nice. I believe this is gonna be... Okay, yeah. It's fine for...
This room is very scary.
It is, yeah. If you get hit there, you go to a bottom of the pit, and yeah, you just die.
Also, if you touch any of the walls, you fall into the pit. So
Yeah. It's very bad.
very scary indeed.
Okay, but that seems like a good... That's pretty good. Good egg one.
Time for the longest level in the game.
Yes. Egg Rock 2 is where a lot of runs can die. It's pretty long. It's around 2 minutes.
It's gonna be a little bit more than 2 minutes for me. Just in the stress I use.
That's okay.
I'm opting not to go for the speed shoes due to the fact that it kills me most of the time when I try to go for it.
Speed shoes aren't always a good thing. They can be dangerous. Okay, but here we're gonna activate like a flag, I guess, by walking on that part, and that's gonna open up a door for us right ahead. Like this would usually be shut, but it's open because like Kenya went up there and pressed the little switch.
And yeah, also banger soundtrack.
Yes, yeah. Egg Rock 2 is the best one in the game. Facts. It's just objective. It's, yeah. Or whatever.
Okay, so my hope is that I don't get crushed or that I don't get shot with a laser in this coming room. So let's hope that I don't get hit. Ooh!
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh, that was close.
Okay, that was close. But we were alive.
And
this room is usually really scary, but okay, well, it's still kind of scary. It's still kind of scary with me. Okay, good.
yeah,
But yeah. Usually that room, if you don't fly, you just gotta go on the platforms, and if you fall down, you die. And not only do you die, you have to wait like 20 seconds for the platforms to come back after you spawn. So yeah, it's kind of a run killer, but at least Tails can fly, but
and that's a very nice landing.
yeah, that was really good.
Threading the needle there is very hard.
Yeah, Black Claw. So it's like the final zone of the game. It's basically a boss rush. Well, I mean, if you want to count this act as a boss rush, basically as a boss, it's basically like a race with Metal Sonic. And yeah, we're probably not going to see Metal Sonic again for this act, but yeah. Okay, cool. Speed shoes. Almost making it to the end already. I mean, it's really good.
Ooh. I mean, that damage boost was intentional.
Yeah. Good fly here. Yep, that is really cool. And yeah, just now we just walk forward. Well, bunny hop forward, or spin fly. Okay, I gotta keep forgetting which character to play. But yeah, yeah.
So let's go for the Metal Sonic fight.
And right now, Kenya wants to get 3 hits. Oh, unfortunately didn't get it, but that's okay. Oh wait, no, maybe.
No, just 2.
Okay, 2 hits. That's just fine. Basically, at the start of the fight, you can hit them like 3 times if you're fast enough, and it just saves the time basically. You can actually hit them 4 times, but I don't think that's such faster for some reasons. But yeah.
I mean, I've seen like a lot of people go for 4 hits, and it's like very tight.
Yeah, it is extreme. Like, yeah, it is extremely difficult. It's crazy. But I think in the end, it's the same amount of time as doing 3 hits or something like that. But yeah,
It doesn't really save any time compared to doing 3.
yeah. Oh, and also what Akanya's doing here is staying in the corners, and that's basically causing Melt Sonic to hit the walls, because the amount of times they hit the walls is like how much they'll need to hit the wall a certain amount of time, and then they'll go vulnerable. So if we can get them to hit the walls faster, that's gonna speed us up. Oh god, 0 rings. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Oh no! Oh no!
No.
Akanya. Yeah, please. Oh,
This can be really scary, by the way.
yeah, this is like, whenever you're in a situation like this, it's not good. Oh, I can't watch.
Ooh.
Okay,
There we go.
okay, good job. That was very scary, but okay,
Very scary indeed. Ugh.
Okay, so we're going on to the final boss now, who's called Brack for the community. It's basically like, I don't know if anyone here has ever seen Psycho VA. I know it's a very rare thing, I know it's not very well seen, but basically this is like the Eggman mech from that. But now they're like even more annoying. Because, oh wait, okay, this is good RNG. Okay, so we want to get the Brack to walk the boss to walk into the goop, be vulnerable. Now I can do hits. But it's actually random where the goop comes from, so I kind of got very lucky getting that goop there. Okay, oh, I kind of want to, okay, good, I kind of got some rings, right, we'll see.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, very good first phase, or first.
Yeah, like first, like, whatever you want to, like, his first set of hits or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, it's good. Okay, oh, and one more again, pretty fast. Oh, the ring. It's okay. We've got this. That was very unfortunate though. Falling off is very punishing.
Yeah.
The entire part over again.
I was just trying to grab my rings.
Yeah, and then the wall came down at the perfect moment. That is just Brack kind of things. I mean, this is the final boss that every FP2 speedrunner loves. Okay, but it's going good so far. If you get hit by the rockets, it does send you flying, so I would recommend anyone playing this. Okay, if you want to get hit by the fire, but if you get hit by the rocket, it's kind of like, it's usually just GG though.
Oh, don't.
That is very tough. Oh, that's not. Oh,
I am getting really bad RNG.
yeah, it is pretty unfortunate how things are going. And then also, yeah, getting the bad goop RNG now. Because yeah, when you get the goop far away like that, you have to go all the way to it, and then you have to bring Brack to it, and it takes ages. Like,
hello.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they just don't walk into it. It's amazing. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh. Why is it? Why is this happening? Okay, please. Okay, good job. Okay. They did it. Eggman did it. Okay, we have one ring. Okay, good. Okay, I believe in you. I can.
We got this. Ooh.
We've got this. Okay.
This boss really don't want to cooperate with me today.
Yeah, Brack do be like that. Ooh. Okay, but is that ring gonna stay? Yeah. Okay. my god, they actually walked into it. Okay, be careful. Okay, good. Oh my god. Oh no!
Again! Oh,
It's okay.
we are still fine.
Yeah. You've got this. Alright.
Bad to mention.
I mean, basically, like, this boss has changed so much through different versions. Honestly, because back in like the final demo 2.1, 2.0, I think, you had to like ride rockets and like hit Eggman. It was very different than what we have now. I think what we have now is pretty good though. It's just I wish there was no RNG. Okay, right. This is the one. Oh, why do they do like this? Is the most annoying part of the boss. Like they just don't walk into it. Like, they'll just walk around the goo based on RNG. Oh yeah, because it's actually based off of like, you know, in Doom, like, you know how enemies will walk around and try and like follow you. They usually don't like go straight to you. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's using the same like Doom AI as the enemies. So
Eggman is really sick of us speedrunners right now.
yeah. But we've done it. I mean, how can you've done it? I mean, this is.
Let's go.
That's it. And time is going to be when the ending cutscene begins. Time.
Ooh.
Game. GG.
GG.
Yeah.
That is such an incredible run. Always happy to showcase a game like this.
It's very fun to showcase.
Thank you so much for being on. Thank you both of you, honestly. I know it's very early there, so thank you so much for getting up early and showing off this incredible fan game.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a blast playing this on the stream. Okay, I'll see myself out now.
But yeah, it's been a blast. For sure. So yeah, I want to just give a shout out to the Sonic Robo Blast 2 speedrun community, as well as the Sonic fangames community, because without them, this game wouldn't have been existing. Also, this is one of the oldest Sonic fangames, and that is still being worked on, and it's still amazing to this day.
It is very old. It's like 25 or some years old, isn't it? I did research before I had it on to like find the release here. It's like technically it's like 97 or 98, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's changed so much since back then, and like there's so many different people working on it. Like it's just progressed so much.
Yeah,
it's so good too.
Yeah, it really is.
Some of the people I even know myself that I've been talking with before, like, all of them are amazing people. Just saying that right now. So also gonna give a shout out to Sonic Team Junior. They're a pretty good team. And there is like more versions or more like different packs you get for this, which is level packs and stuff. So did you know that this game is free? That you can get it on srb2.org.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to do that.
It's very good. I really recommend this game. And it has a lot of content.
Where can our viewers find you, Arcanian?
You can find me on my Twitch, which is ArcaniusGDQ, and you can also find me on my Twitter, which is the same. But yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you both. Yeah, thank you both so much again. Before we head out, this was the last run of the night, but before we go away, make sure you tune in tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, because in honor of Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month, GDQ Hotfix will be hosting a variety of Latin American and Hispanic runners. Tune in this weekend, both days, for a special Latin American speedrun showcase on September 16th and 17th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. That is tomorrow and Sunday. Make sure you tune in. But with that said, that's it from me. I'm Helix. That's it for the GDQ Hotfix tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Parallel Universe will be back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, we will see you tomorrow as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. See you then.